Let's talk about a question that I've been asking myself, and a lot of people actually know that they ask themselves as well. Why am I not losing weight? Or, as I sit here, why I'm not losing weight? Um, as you probably already know, a reasonable rate of fat loss is at about zero point 0.8 to 1 pound of fat lost per week. So that, in terms of calories, that's a deficit of about 2,800 to 3,500 calories per week. If we divide that by 7, the number of days in a week, that means theoretically we want to have a daily calorie deficit of about 500 calories. So let's say my maintenance is at about 2,200 calories. Let's say I want to maintain weight. I want to stay at the exact same weight that I'm now. I would have to eat consistently 2,200 calories. Obviously, this is not an exact science. This number can change. Like I could go for a walk, um, maybe go for a bike ride, go to the grocery store, come back, and I could alter this by as much as 300 calories. But we're going to use these numbers just for the sake of the argument because I think they're important. While calorie tracking is not your best solution for achieving weight loss, I think playing with with these numbers, translating daily and weekly eating experiences into numbers helps drive home a point that I think is very important. So let's see where these numbers take us. So, like I said, if I want to maintain my weight, I need 2,200 calories. If I want to lose pound of fat per week, 3,500 calories, I need to eat every day 1,700 calories. All straightforward, makes perfect sense. Let's see how this works between Monday and Friday. Monday and Friday, let's say I've done my meal prep. Everything's working fine. I'm eating my 2, 3, 4 meals a day, and I managed to maintain this 500 calorie deficit. So between Monday and Friday, I have a total of 2,500 calories total deficit. 5 times 500, 2,500. Come Saturday morning, actually, let me take a step back here. I'm assuming that on Friday night, I'm not going out. A lot of people do. I'm just going to assume a very optimistic scenario where I'm not going out. I'm eating the same foods that I'm eating on a Tuesday morning, on a Tuesday evening, for instance. So Saturday in the morning, I'm going to have an omelet and some almonds, maybe a little bit of salad. I can, with the almonds, just a fistful of almonds, or some other seeds and nuts, I can easily hit 600 calories. At lunch, I'm gonna make this lunch a little bit more special. It's a steak, a fairly big steak, with a Greek salad and some dessert, maybe some garlic bread. The dessert's gonna be homemade. So I'm talking just homemade foods. I'm not going out to eat. I just happened to make this week. I made a cheesecake where a very tiny portion, like a small, very small, 1/16 of the cake is 175 calories. I can easily hit 600 calories just with cheesecake. So total 1,672 calories for lunch alone. Snack, let's say it's going to be a popcorn, like microwavable popcorn, 270 calories. I guess that's the only non-home cooked meal. Sort of. I microwaved it, so it's cooked. So dinner, I'm gonna have some fish just baked in the toaster oven, another salad, and some dessert. Again, just for the sake of simplicity, it's going to be another slice of my blueberry cheesecake. It's a pretty good cheesecake, by the way, and it's kind of hard to stop eating it. I may be biased, but that's how I feel whenever I have some of that. End of the day, Saturday calories add up to 3,530 calories. It sounds like a lot. It actually isn't. It's a lot it's super easy to beat this number of calories if you go out. And especially if going out to a buffet. So the surplus for Saturday is compared to my maintenance, which is at 2,200. It's about 1,330 calories. Sunday calories. Let's say I'm not eating as much as I did Saturday. I'm going to eat just 3,400 calories, and I have a surplus of 1,200 calories. My total surplus, as you see here below the middle of the page, is at about 2,530 calories. So now we had a deficit Monday to Friday of 2,500, but now we have a surplus of just over 2,500. It's 2,530. So that kind of sucks because for the whole week, we pretty much achieved nothing in terms of calorie balance. So we're at 30 calories surplus. We might as well call it even. We didn't gain, we didn't lose anything, but we did work to make it to be consistent between Monday and Friday. So it's kind of disappointing. Now, what am I doing wrong? What I'm doing wrong is actually pretty straightforward. It's taking a break on the weekend from, I guess, eating in a compliant fashion. And this means basically, this brings me to a point that I think is very important, and I'm not gonna be able to spend a lot of time on it because it's pretty. I can go pretty deep into detail here, but sometimes it's easier to be 100% compliant as opposed to being just 80% compliant. So basically, it might be easier to not eat any cheesecake than saying, you know what, it's Saturday, so I'm just going to eat a small slice of 175 calories, and I'm going to try to maintain the same calorie balance or the same calorie total for the day of 1,700 calories. So can this work? For some, yes. For me, I'm pretty weak when it comes to sweet stuff, and I'm weak when it comes to chips and salty, greasy snacks. Bacon, just don't get me started. And there's quite a few calories in bacon from according to recent studies. So that's all I'm going to say about being 100% compliant as opposed to 80% compliant. You might find it easier to just be 100% compliant across the board. The other mistake, let's say I screwed up my morning meal. You know, I had too much cheesecake, maybe a few too many slices of bacon. What sucks about this is it's not motivating at all. It's not really easy to track all these non-compliant meals. I know it is like that for myself. If I've had a half a bag of chips, I just hate tracking those calories. But you know what? It's probably a good idea to track them because it'll tell me where I'm at, and it'll kind of tell me, that total will tell me, okay, maybe it's time to slow down for the rest of the day without overcompensating. So just eat small amounts of food, enough to feel fairly satisfied without starving, and go back to normal, go back to the usual 1700, in my case, 1700 calories, and stay there, and eat whole, unprocessed foods. So consistency, basically, coming back to consistency is key, and tracking the excesses, it's painful, but it works. And of course, getting help. Help might look like accountability. It might look like having an accountability group, a partner, a coach who's gonna ask you in a day or two, or within a few days, they're gonna ask you, how compliant were you? Let me take a look at your food log. Why is it empty? What's missing here? What happened here where you had 3,500 calories on a Saturday morning? Not that it's a bad thing, but just knowing that you're accountable in that fashion is going to be very helpful. So I hope you found this valuable, and look out for another video and possibly some written material on why 100% might be easier than going with 80% consistency. So we'll talk very soon.